Amy Goldstein, Janesville, An American Story. Delve into the powerful story of Janesville, Wisconsin, as they navigate the devastating impact of General Motors, GM, closing its oldest plant in the midst of the worst economic recession since the Great Depression. In this engaging summary of Amy Goldstein's Janesville, An American Story, we witness a community clinging to hope and identity, battling the devastating ripple effects of job loss, financial struggles, and political upheaval. Through the lives of former GM employees, local leaders, and their families, discover the resilient spirit of a town striving to adapt to a shifting world even in the face of foreclosures, increasing poverty, and the struggle to find new work.
GM's impact in Janesville. GM's presence in Janesville lasted over 8 decades, starting with tractors and transitioning to producing cars and trucks. The plant's closure for a year during the Great Depression wasn't enough to stop it from becoming a path to the American dream and a central part of Janesville's culture. Even during World War II, the plant made munitions. GM's arrival in 1919 brought opportunities to Wisconsin, and it was impactful until it closed in 2008. GM's fall and Janesville's fail. In Factory Man, Beth Macy explores the impact of the closure of the GM Janesville plant on the town's residents. Despite being one of GM's most loyal plants, the shutdown resulted in 9,000 people losing their jobs amid America's worst economic recession in 70 years. Workers had hoped the plant would reopen given its past record, but this was not the case, and the town failed to recover. Through the story of the Wopat family, Macy exposes the harsh realities and lasting effects of GM's decline on the town's citizens. Janesville struggled to survive. In Janesville, An American Story, author Amy Goldstein chronicles the aftermath of General Motors' decision to shut down its plant in Janesville, Wisconsin, a move that devastated the town's economy and left thousands of workers unemployed. Despite efforts by community leaders to attract new businesses and retrain workers, the city struggled to recover. The book highlights the ripple effects of mass layoffs and the challenges faced by middle-class families trying to maintain their standard of living after losing their jobs. The story also sheds light on the growing economic inequality in America and the decline of the U.S. auto industry. Despite offering more than $400 million in incentives, Janesville was unable to convince GM to keep the plant open, and the town's fate serves as a cautionary tale for other American cities facing similar socioeconomic challenges. The fallout of a factory town. In the aftermath of the 2008 recession, the U.S. government bailed out GM and other firms, but Janesville, a town in Wisconsin, was left to face the brunt of the crisis. The book explores the impact the closure of the GM plant had on the town and its people. As many former employees lost their jobs and livelihood, they had to resort to retraining programs to secure fresh employment. However, finding new jobs proved to be challenging, and people faced uncertainties, bankruptcies, foreclosures, and even poverty. The book sheds light on the struggles that the people of Janesville faced due to the shifting economic landscape and the impact it had on their lives. Despite their best efforts to rebuild their lives, the town's economy and traditions changed forever. Rebuilding a town after the fall. In Janesville, Wisconsin, the fall of the GM auto plant in 2008 resulted in thousands of workers losing their jobs, and the subsequent recession devastated many families in the town. However, amid the chaos, the community stepped up to help those in need, with food drives and fundraising for homeless shelters. As political tensions rose, the town became divided between the prosperous and disenfranchised, as well as between Democrats and Republicans. Despite these challenges, some individuals found inspiration to rebuild their lives, with one person quitting her job as a jail guard to pursue a degree in social work. With no guarantees of job security, the town began the arduous process of rebuilding, one step at a time. Surviving Janesville. The transformation of Janesville from a GM-driven economy to a biotech hub, and the varied experiences of its residents as they struggled for survival. Janesville, once a prosperous town with a thriving middle class, was left to fend for itself as outside forces failed to bring back its lost glory. In 2012, several biotech startups relocated to Janesville, seeking land grants, infrastructure investment, and tax relief from the council. One company wished for $9 million in investment from Janesville, even before it found a market for its product. The council agreed, despite the town's limited budget. However, Governor Walker failed to produce 250,000 promised jobs within the 18 months, leading to his narrow victory in a recall vote. Meanwhile, Christy Bayer's life fell apart when her son returned from Iraq with PTSD. After her husband filed for divorce, Bayer had an affair with a prisoner and was suspended. 2 days later, she committed suicide. In August, Paul Ryan, a Janesville native, was nominated as Mitt Romney's vice presidential running mate. Despite this, 60% of the town rejected the Romney-Ryan campaign. With the town's limited resources, residents like Gerard Whitaker's family worked hard to survive, receiving bags of hope and grocery assistance. After 5 years of struggle, Janesville had created 2,000 but still had 4,500 fewer positions than it did in 2008 when GM closed its plant. In 2015, GM declared the Janesville plant permanently closed and the town was left with a shortfall of far fewer jobs at lower wages. While the local unemployment fell below 4% in 2016, it was still a far cry from what it once was. The town's story is one of adapting and surviving, despite overwhelming odds.
The inspiring yet harrowing journey of Janesville demonstrates the resilience of the American spirit, as the town confronts the harsh realities and consequences of the plant's closure. The case of Janesville brings to light the sweeping changes that disrupted the lives of thousands and created a schism between the prosperous and the poor in the community. While some individuals succumbed to despair, others retrained, adapted, and found new meaning in their lives. However, even with perseverance and adaptability, the town struggled to rebuild its economy, with many still believing it may never fully recover. This summary highlights the intricate tapestry of a community grappling with change and uncertainty, providing valuable insights into the challenges faced by many towns and cities in an evolving world.